Are you evaluating FortiCNAPP after Fortinet's acquisition of Lacework and trying to understand what it actually delivers for multi-cloud security? In this review, I will explain how the platform works, how Lacework's Polygraph analytics fit into the Fortinet Security Fabric, which use cases it solves well, where it can be challenging, and what to consider for pricing and deployment. Let's start with the fundamentals. FortiCNAPP is a cloud-native application protection platform. The goal of the CNAPP is to bring together posture management, workload protection, identity governance, runtime threat detection, and shift-left controls into one context-driven system. Instead of collecting signals in silos, FortiCNAPP correlates them. That correlation is powered by the Lacework Polygraph approach, which learns normal behavior across your cloud accounts, services, workloads, and identities, then surfaces anomalies with relevant context, like network flows, open attack paths, and effective permissions. What does that look like in practice? Imagine a new container image is deployed to an Amazon EKS cluster. FortiCNAPP can scan the image for vulnerabilities and misconfigurations pre-deployment, monitor the cluster for risky settings, track runtime process activity and network connections, and map which IAM roles and policies can reach the workload. If an unusual outbound connection appears from that pod to an unrecognized domain, and the image also contains a critical vulnerability with an available fix, FortiCNAPP will join these facts and raise a prioritized finding. The aim is fewer, yet higher quality alerts that your team can remediate quickly. Coverage is a key question. FortiCNAPP supports AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, and Kubernetes environments like EKS, AKS, and GKE. It ingests cloud configuration via native APIs, collects logs and flow data, and can run agentless scans of instances, containers, and serverless where possible. Where deeper runtime visibility is required, lightweight agents can be deployed to gather process-level telemetry. This hybrid model lets organizations start fast with agentless breadth, then add agents selectively for depth. Now, let's break down the primary modules and use cases. First, Cloud Security Posture Management finds misconfigurations against frameworks like CIS benchmarks and common best practices. You can track drift across accounts and regions, enforce guardrails, and map findings to compliance objectives. Second, Cloud Workload Protection provides vulnerability management, malware detection, and runtime monitoring for virtual machines, containers, and orchestration layers. Third, Cloud Infrastructure Entitlement Management helps you rationalize roles, policies, and permissions to stop privilege sprawl and eliminate toxic combinations. Shift-left capabilities scan infrastructure as code templates and container images and CI pipelines to catch issues before production. Finally, Cloud Detection and Response uses polygraph-driven behavioral analytics to flag anomalous activity and suspicious lateral movement without depending solely on static rules. A central differentiator is behavioral context. Traditional tools often generate alert storms that security teams cannot triage. Lacework became known for reducing alert fatigue by building baselines of normal behavior and correlating multiple signals before creating an incident. FortiCNAPP carries that forward while adding stronger integration points with Fortinet products. If you already use FortiGate next-generation firewalls, FortiAnalyzer for analytics, FortiSIEM, or FortiSOAR for response, FortiCNAPP findings can feed those systems to orchestrate remediation, ticketing, and workflow automation. What about deployment? Onboarding typically begins by connecting cloud accounts or subscriptions through read-only API roles. From there, you can enable agentless assessments, configure data collectors for logs and flows, and decide where agents would provide extra visibility. Success depends on good cloud hygiene, consistent tagging, clear account boundaries, and a basic inventory of critical applications. Many teams start with a subset of accounts to fine-tune policies, then scale across the organization. For DevSecOps, FortiCNAPP supports image and IAC scanning in CI pipelines to reduce risk earlier in the software delivery lifecycle. Developers can receive actionable feedback about vulnerabilities and misconfigurations, along with fix guidance and policy waivers when risk is accepted. Security teams can enforce minimum policies while allowing application teams to move fast. How does pricing typically work? Like most CNAPP platforms, FortiCNAPP is usually quote-based and sensitive to environment size. Costs may align to factors like the number of cloud accounts and subscriptions, the count of protected assets and images, data ingestion volumes, and the use of agent-based runtime protection. If you are consolidating separate CSPM, CWPP, and CIEM tools into one platform, the total cost of ownership can be favorable. However, At very large scale, plan for budget tied to growth in cloud assets and data. Strengths include multi-cloud breadth, strong anomaly detection and correlation from Polygraph, prioritization that reduces noise, and the ability to plug into the Fortinet Security Fabric for end-to-end workflows. Teams appreciate contextual risk scoring that combines misconfigurations, vulnerabilities, identities, and network exposure into a single view, so that remediation targets the highest risk paths first. Limitations to consider include an initial learning curve for both platform and security teams, the need for thoughtful policy tuning to match your environment, potential overhead when deploying and managing agents for deep runtime visibility, and complexity when onboarding many tenants or business units at once. During the first days of deployment, you may also see a burst of findings as the system baselines your environment and surfaces long-standing issues. How does FortiCNAPP compare to other leaders? If you are evaluating Prisma Cloud, Wiz, Orca Security, Microsoft Defender for Cloud, or Checkpoint Cloud Guard, focus your proof of value on 3 areas. First, data collection depth across compute, containers, serverless, and managed services. Second, the quality of context and attack path analysis that ties together misconfigurations, vulnerabilities, identities, and network exposure. Third, operational fit, including ticketing integration, remediation guidance, and automation coverage via SIEM and SOAR. Run the same tests across vendors and measure noise, mean time to triage, and mean time to remediate. Who is FortiCNAPP best for? Mid-market to large enterprises running across multiple cloud providers, especially those already invested in Fortinet firewalls, SD-WAN, or SOC tooling, will find synergy in unified workflows and licensing. Regulated industries that need robust governance, evidence collection, and continuous assurance benefit from posture tracking and compliance reporting mapped to standards. Platform engineering and DevSecOps teams seeking a single pane of glass across CSPM, CWPP, and identity will appreciate the consolidated risk view. Who might look elsewhere? Organizations with very small cloud footprints may find a lighter tool sufficient. Teams that want only a single function, like agentless vulnerability scanning without broader posture or identity context, could prefer a narrower product. And if you require highly specialized capabilities beyond CNAPP scope, such as deep data security posture management for sensitive data discovery and classification across SaaS, you might supplement FortiCNAPP with a dedicated DSPM tool. To get value fast, start with a pilot. Connect 2 or 3 representative cloud accounts, enable agentless assessment, and select one containerized application for deeper runtime. Establish a baseline, review the top 5 attack paths or correlated risks surfaced by the platform, and run a remediation sprint with infra and app owners. Measure the reduction in public exposure, high-severity vulnerabilities with internet reachability, and overprivileged identities. These tangible outcomes will help you build an adoption roadmap and justify investment. In summary, FortiCNAPP combines Lacework's proven behavioral analytics with Fortinet's broader ecosystem to deliver a comprehensive CNAPP from multi-cloud and Kubernetes. It is designed to cut noise, elevate context, and accelerate remediation across posture, workloads, identities, and runtime threats. If you value context-driven risk reduction and you want to align cloud security with existing Fortinet operations, FortiCNAPP deserves a serious look. As always, validate in your environment, compare on outcomes, and choose the platform that most effectively reduces your cloud risk at the speed your business requires.